I'm gonna be giving you 8 exercises to become an athletic freak. So if you're new around here, I'm Joel Harries. I'm a strength and conditioning coach that helps athletes build a complete program to get them stronger, fitter, faster, and more powerful, and step up no matter what level they play at. Now, as an athlete, the first thing you should focus on is your strength base. Maximal strength is the mother of all qualities, and if you're underdeveloped in this trait, you're gonna struggle, and that's why the first exercise on the list is a barbell back squat. The back squat is the king of lower body lifts, and for good reason. Back squats have been positively correlated with 5-meter sprint times and vertical jump heights, and if you look at the professional game, you will see some mammoth back squats. If you're unsure on the technique and this is new to you, I actually created a video with an elite powerlifter walking through the 3 key fundamental technique tips that you need on your back squat. But I'm gonna give you a few variations that you can use in your training. The first step is the high bar back squat, where that bar is sat on the upper part of your traps and you're traveling through a bigger range of motion. You can then bump that bar down into a low bar position, which is gonna shorten the range of motion that we travel, but increase the contribution from the hips. Either are gonna be beneficial in your training. So not only do you just have to do conventional training, you can throw some specialty techniques in as well. You can do things like a pin squat, where you come all the way down, pause on pins, and explode up. Not only is this gonna actually help you break past sticking points where you're weak in a lift, it's also gonna train starting strength qualities, which is something that's vital for athletes. Not only that, you can do overcoming isometrics. These are gonna really help skyrocket your max strength, where you're gonna come under the pins in that squat position, and you're gonna push as hard as you can. Anywhere from 3 to 8 seconds. Those specialty techniques are gonna help you blow up your squat and hit that 2 times bodyweight standard that athletes should be striving for. And while prioritizing the back squat is great, the second exercise on the list is the front squat. What you need to realize is that you're not a powerlifter, and you wanna learn to display that strength over a wide range of movement patterns. And the front squat is gonna help you keep that torso more vertical, go through more knee range, provide a slightly different stimulus to the back squat. Now, the goal of the front squat should be to get to 85% of your back squat, but a lot of rugby players will actually struggle getting into that position. And this is where straps can come in handy. You can utilize straps to help take the load off that Olympic grip. I know a lot of you are gonna go through many car crashes every single Saturday, and getting into that front rack isn't feasible. So using something like straps can help you get into that position and reduce the mobility demands actually needed for the front squat. But one thing you need to remember, regardless of whether it's the back squat or the front squat, you need to lift explosively. There's no moving nice and slow through the concentric like this. You wanna make sure that as you hit that bottom, you're moving as fast as you can. Lifting with that intent has been shown by the research to actually improve strength gains by 8.5%, so don't miss out on that. Talking of moving fast, next up is exercise number 3, and that is gonna be the clean. Now, this is gonna be a technical coordination movement, and it's gonna help train explosive strength. Now, some people will argue that you don't need to do weightlifts as an athlete, you can do trap bar jumps, and to that, there will be a video coming out with my opinion on why Olympic lifts provide a stimulus that trap bar jumps don't. But in the meantime, while you're including these in your training, take it slow. It is in the name. They are technical coordination. They are a high skill movement done at high speed with high load. So don't rush the process. In the early days, focus on nailing your technique and building that movement capacity first. So the fourth and final lift is going to be another technical coordination movement. It is going to be the snatch. Now this is going to provide a slightly different stimulus to clean. It's going to be a little bit faster, and it's going to challenge a little bit more shoulder stability as we come overhead. But the same principles apply. This is something that needs to be treated with technique. And here's a little simple progression that you can use as an athlete to get into snatching. First up, you're just gonna master an overhead squat. Once you've done that, you're gonna come down into a dip snatch. Once you've done that, a hang snatch, then low hang, and then finally, you can take the movement from the floor to overhead. Bash. So after you've done your snatch on upper body days, we move on to exercise number 5 on the list, and this is going to be the bench press. This is going to be everyone's favorite lift, and for good reason. There's been some research that says that bigger bench presses are correlated with better rugby players. Now, does this mean just chasing a big bench press is going to make you a better player? No, but what it does show is that there's a certain level of force that we need to produce through the upper body to make sure that we can withstand the collisions in the sport. And as a first target, 100 kilos should be that number that we aim for as a benchmark, moving all the way up to 1.5 times body weight, being that elite strength standard that people chase down. Now, if you're struggling to hit those bench press numbers, then you may want to think about just benching a little bit more and having a proper program in place. That is normally the first thing that we look at. But if all you do is bench press, you're gonna be shortchanging yourself, because your shoulder moves through a full 180 degrees of flexion. And if all you're doing is pressing in the horizontal pattern, you're gonna be missing out. And that is why exercise number 6 on the list is the overhead press. Now, this number is neglected by a lot of rugby players, and the standard that we're looking for is you want to be hitting roughly 72% of your best bench press for your overhead press. And I know what you're thinking, fuck, that's a lot of weight, but realistically, if you train your overhead press like you did your bench press and give it as much love and care, you would see those numbers come up, and that is why it's not unrealistic. Now, exercise number 7 and the final pressing movement that we're looking at is the incline bench press. We want to be setting the incline bench at roughly a 35-degree angle, and we want to be aiming to hit 91% of your best bench on the incline. But remember, all these pressing movements shouldn't just be done exclusively with a barbell. You can use dumbbells, and if you're looking at how strong you should be with dumbbells, you want to realistically be at roughly 90% combined weight per arm compared to where you'd be with a barbell. And that's a good standard that you can use to check to see if your dumbbell pressing strength is up to your barbell pressing strength. Now, the final movement that you need to become an athletic freak is the chin up. You will never meet a strong man with a weak back, and the chin up should be prioritized. You want to be aiming for 1.3 times your body weight, which means 30% of your body weight attached with a weight vest. You don't just do these body weight. You need to load these up, and you need to switch grip position. You need to do overhand. You need to do supinated. You need to do neutral. And you need to mix up your grips. You need to go wide, close, and medium grip if you want to truly develop your pulling strength in the most optimal way. So those are the 8 exercises you need to become an athletic freak, and they make up the meat and potatoes of our program and at the Strength Solution. And we've had success with over 200 athletes using them, and I know you can too. Catch you in the next one.